As you guys know, I frequent quite a few online shops in order to find products to actually bring to you guys and do videos on. And recently I was buying keycaps for my Razer Black Widow 75%. I wanted to go with a purple theme, I wanted to make it cute, and I did all of that. That was a really fun video. But in the process, I was advertised to me a mouse that could maybe match the setup a little bit better than my current one at a price that is questionably low. And it's from a name brand. This isn't some random Chinese company. This is from Logitech. And this thing got recommended to me so many times, I can't even count. But at the selling price of $20 when I bought it, and a normal price of around $40, this thing fascinates me. And if it's really good, well, it's purple and it will go nicely with my keyboard. So let's get into this box and see what this is about, because according to Amazon, this is one of the #1 selling mice on their site. I mean, at that price and these colors, it kind of makes sense. So let's get into it. So looking at the box, this is a Logitech G305 Lightspeed. Lightspeed is just Logitech's wireless technology. They have a bunch of different stuff with the Lightspeed technology, and I think you can even have a unified dongle if you try for it. It's got a Hero sensor, which is pretty nice, 20,000 DPI. For a $20 mouse, this is pretty nice. Battery lasting up to 250 hours. Wow. Okay, and it's got a portable, durable design, which based off the size of this box, I'm inclined to believe that it is probably very portable. To open it, we got the worst kind of box. Tab. Thing's pretty much guaranteed to damage the box. All right. We really don't have much fanfare here. The mouse just fell out. That is all the fanfare we get. Okay, so we got a battery. So non-rechargeable, but it is a single AA battery. And they came with name brand Duracell. Interesting. Okay. Instructions on how to install the battery into the mouse. A wire. It's not rechargeable. Why would you need a wire? Oh, it's a dongle extender. Okay, so yeah, these are kind of useful in order to get the best speed possible. You sometimes are going to need to extend into where you're doing your mousing. So a dongle extender is pretty useful. I already have one. I'll see if it just works. It's from Razer. And then we got the mouse itself. Okay, I love that color. Oh, geez. It's a nice lavender with like a darker purple underneath. It I mean, color match it to me. It's a little bit lighter than what I'm wearing now, but it's not bad. It's actually really nice. There's a matte finish on it, which is kind of nice. And I'm already like clicking around on it. So we'll take a look. And then here's our dongle. Oh God, that's actually really hard to get out. There we go. If you've got nails or like medium-sized nails like I do, that's going to be actually really hard to actually get out of there. But it does store it for you. So that's nice. Is this wrapped? Doesn't look like it. So there we go. Okay. So first impressions, ergonomically, this is like a perfect mouse, like actually a perfect mouse. So what I look for with a mouse is when I rest my hand on it, does my hand naturally go into the position it needs to be so that I can press every single button? And for this, it does. This is actually very similar in feel to the Razer Cobra, I think is their budget line. We've got decent glide distance on there. I mean, it looks pretty nice. But feel-wise, I'm actually very impressed by how nice the ergonomics are on here. It definitely reminds me of some of the Razer mice I've used in the past. And I mean, it's got a good slide to it. It's nice. And for, well, I mean, $20, it's probably the best mouse I've ever held. All right, so right now it's been trying to sync to Bluetooth. Red just means off. So actually it doesn't have Bluetooth, I don't think. I think it only has the Lightspeed, which would make sense because, well, that's the whole gimmick, is the Lightspeed connection. So I got the Logitech G305 already hooked up to my laptop. It was pretty straightforward. I just took the dongle, put it into the laptop, and we're already good. It's nice and working. We can kind of give you a tour of what the buttons do, because there's really not much. This top button is a DPI selector, and it's pre-programmed with pretty much everything I could ever need. It is not a quick select, so it's not like you can do that trick with some mice where you can lower your DPI in order to get a better sniping advantage. I'm sure if you manually set the profiles, you could, which there is software to do that. But for this, we're just going to do a quick demo without it, just because the simplicity of this mouse is kind of the point. You know, it's nice and easy to use. And I gotta say, it feels pretty good to mouse around with so far. I do think it's got pretty good tracking quality, which is very nice, because at this price point, that is something you should be kind of concerned about. I'm going to pull up a bit of a classic. This is a case that's back when I was a young gamer. I did experience a major difference in, and that is surprisingly Minecraft. Believe it or not, Minecraft is a great way of testing keyboards and mice because, well, you're going to be doing a lot of things repetitively. And because you do things repetitively, you should get a good feel of how the scroll and the clicks actually respond in a real game scenario. We do have two side buttons. I wonder what they're mapped to. It's probably M1, M2, which is, or M3 and M4, something like that. This feels good, actually. Like, this is a pretty good use case for something like this, right? A budget mouse. You bought a pretty expensive laptop, right? You put a lot of your money into it. You bought something that's like around the $1,200 range, and you didn't really save anything for your peripherals because you've got a trackpad, you've got a keyboard, and you know, you paid this good money to have a good gaming device, but you need something, right? You can't quite play with the trackpad the way that you can play with the mouse. And so this is a pretty good use case for something like this mouse, because budget mouse, not so budget computer. While I would advise spending more on your peripherals, this isn't a bad compromise. Like, this feels good. Good to play, good to use. And honestly, like, I have no complaints about it right now. But let's start doing the whole, you know, mining and crafting thing to see how that's gonna fare. I did find myself in a desert, which is not bad. There's a village and everything here. I just need a tree to punch. What I'm gonna be looking for are like misclicks or unintentional like holds. Oh, looks like I'm logged into the gamer guts. Whoopsies. Scroll wheel's a bit odd, actually. It's tight. It's actually very similar to, there's another mouse that I looked at recently by SteelSeries, where the mouse itself was pretty solid. It was one of those ones with like the holes, like the I keep calling them speed holes. The ones to make it lighter, right? And it had the same thing where it's like this very low profile scroll wheel. It's tight, right? So like, got really good control, but it's not my favorite. I actually kind of prefer the chunkier scroll wheels. I don't know, something about them, it's just a little bit smoother. This might get smoother over time. That is one of the things that does happen. Like, this loosens up, no complaints. Like, this would be a pretty solid mouse if this were like your needing to play Minecraft mouse. Now let's switch to a game that's gonna have a lot of rapid clicks in rapid succession. Zenless Zone Zero. This is an action game that's almost like a fighter, not quite, but it's free to play. And it honestly would be a pretty good pairing with a budget mouse as a game that someone might want to play on a budget. Granted, if you play it for very long, you probably are going to exceed your budget, but hey, gotcha games are gonna gotcha game. I'm expecting to have to click a lot. I'm not really gonna have to scroll that much, but our two buttons do correspond to effectively both attack and dodge. So they're gonna be pressed a lot. All right, let's go find something to beat up. There we go. It's good. It's totally usable. But doesn't quite feel perfect. Like, I'm not dealing with any lag or anything. Something felt a little bit off with those rapid connections. Let's try it again and see if I can replicate the feeling. Yeah, it's kind of weird, actually. It's hard to explain. It's weird because every time I press E, it feels more instant than the mouse. But I shouldn't be able to detect latency that low. Maybe it's just because of the rapid inputs. It's a possibility. Also, my finger, this is gonna sound really weird. My finger actually feels like it's in an uncomfortable resting position when I'm clicking through. Odd. All right, that may warrant some further testing. Like, it's almost like a muscle cramp is kind of the way I would describe it. Just like slightly irritated. Maybe it's just outside of my normal grip and that's why? Don't know. It's like it's extended. Oh, I guess kind of the shape does push it into an extended shape. Like if I sit in my normal like claw-ish grip, it's fine, but slightly uncomfortable. So maybe this is just the wrong grip shape for me. But I mean, serviceable. Realistically, like I'm nitpicking a mouse that cost so little in the comparison to anything else I use on this channel, like in my day-to-day, right? My normal mouse is a $150 mouse, and this can be had for like 20 sometimes. So I really shouldn't be judging it that hard, but I am feeling something that I'm gonna have to follow up on. Just to see if maybe long term, you may wanna look into something else, like if this is a good stopgap, but I'm not exactly sure yet. I gotta like actually put it through its paces and maybe try it in some workloads that aren't just gaming. But I do have one more game that I would like to do, and that is Doom Eternal, because, you know, run's great, and it's the most twitchy Twitch shooter that I'm actually good at. So because of that, I've already got it prepared on here, ready to go. DPI is a little slow for me in this game. Oh, freaking missed. Oh well. That's so weird. In the other games, the tracking was just fine, but in here, I'm getting some weird oddities. Maybe it's just because of how fast this game is. I may end up needing to download the software to see if the DPI can go higher, but I highly doubt that they would have it set to a lower DPI than it's capable of in its max DPI mode. Okay, that was definitely a missed input. I did a scroll to scroll back to this. Again, I know I'm being hard on it for a $20 mouse. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's good for $20. It's good for $30. Hell, even 40. Like, this is pretty good. I'm just voicing some criticisms based off of the fact that I'm noticing it, right? And I'm looking for it. That's the other thing. I am also looking for it. Okay, guys, I've been using this for a little while. And I have to say, while I have not been forced to switch over back to my Razer mouse, this is not going to be staying on my desk long term. And here's why. So tracking quality, this mouse is amazing. It is very, very accurate, and the DPI settings seem to work pretty well. But when it comes to clicks and response time with clicks, sometimes it feels like things are lagging behind ever so slightly. Now, that might just be because I'm getting used to hyperspeed and the hyperspeed dongle's going through a USB extension. Could be multiple factors, but the setup that I used is identical to that of the Razer mouse that I also use. And unfortunately, it feels like in high input games such as Zenless Zone Zero or Genshin Impact, this doesn't quite hold up to the same level. But it still performs incredibly well, especially for its price. And honestly, you can get better in pretty much every category. Mouse responsiveness, you can get even higher end Logitech or Razer products. The actual comfort and feel of this mouse is somewhere around Office mouse, but slightly better. And so it's gonna end up in my office, at my office computer. It's got no RGB, so I mean, if you're anti-RGB, that's kind of nice. But other than that, you know, there's just no flair. But honestly, it's really hard to argue with how affordable this mouse really is. This thing is attainable for most people, and being just slightly better than your average Office mouse means that this is a good contender for a lot of low-cost setups. And so, despite it not being my favorite, I still do recommend it, particularly if you don't have the budget for more expensive peripherals. And I know, based off the fact that I've seen more than a few PC builds where the entire budget went into building the PC, this could be a great holdover until you get something better. But that is where I'm going to end today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, consider giving me a like, maybe comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Wolfie out.